If you've ever felt frustrated with your weight loss journey or wondered if the scale was the only measure for success, I think you're going to be very encouraged today in episode 125 because you're going to hear from real women who have made real shifts in the past 3 months in the Feel Light Mind and Body program. And with permission, they're going to be sharing. I'm Clarenda from Clarenda's Empowerment Coaching, and I help successful women lose the emotional and physical weight that's weighing them down so they can gain the energy and peace of mind that they deserve. When we get to the root cause of overeating and rebalance the hunger hormones, it makes everything easier. And you're going to hear some real-life examples today. There's never an expectation for you to share publicly when working together. However, these women have generously agreed to share their journey to encourage you. So I hope as you listen to their, or watch if you're on YouTube, to their shifts and wins, that it'll inspire you. And just in case you haven't found me on YouTube, it might be a good time to just pause this and hop on there so you can see our interactions together. Everyone is different. Everyone's experience is different. So stay tuned right to the end for all the takeaways, all the shifts, the ahas, and other tips that made the biggest difference in their happiness, in their peace of mind, and in their determination to make themselves a priority and continue on this journey of optimizing their health. Here are some of the things you'll hear about in this episode. Daily wins, shifting from being stressful to empowering. New awareness around food choices that go beyond the calories. Breaking old stories and thought patterns for lasting change. How saying no to pressure food situations can be difficult, but also we can progress in that area. Wins with sugar and wine reduction and therefore decreased cravings. Increased energy to enjoy family events without feeling exhausted. The power of mindful eating, even during birthday parties. Progress in emotional regulation and reduced overwhelm. Sleep challenges and improvements. The role of consistent, simple habits like journaling. A real-time celebration of weight milestones. And most importantly, how the journey continues with nurturing and grace, not perfection. First up is Rose, and this is the first time that we've worked together. This is her first experience with Feel Light Mind and Body, as well as Patsy. Now, Rachel and Lisa, they decided to do another deep dive in because they love the growth, the accountability, and the results they're getting. We all learn from each other, so come on in. Come on in for our weekly group coaching session.
So for me, what have you changed? I think I'm more mindful than I've ever been about what I'm putting into my mouth, basically. The daily weighing, where I was not weighing myself hardly ever, or once a month maybe, but the daily weighing is just that, checking in, data collection kind of thing.
Is that getting easier in your mind? Like, are you
Yes,
noticing your thoughts, and do you use that sheet at all, like the 24-hour plan at the bottom?
I want to. I keep meaning to, and I think I just completed module 7 and 8, and I think those sheets were easier to fill out. So now I want to go back to some of the ones that I struggled with filling out.
Yes, it's always that way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jacqueline, you noticed that too, I think, when you went through like the next time around. Rachel, you probably noticed that too. It's just easier because we've not been taught to think this way before or to really look at our feelings or identify it. We didn't learn that in school. So it's a whole other world. And then once you start with one area, then the next area, it's easier to gain access to that thinking.
Yeah. And one of the thoughts that I just took away from module 7 or 8 is like what we believe is based on our past. And that is so me. Like I really need to develop new thinking, and I'm getting there, but this is so new to me. I'm embracing it. I'm still challenged, very much challenged. All of the things that you said about, being in the company of somebody who you don't want to offend by saying no if they've made something, or, just, bowing to pressure, which happens to me all the time. There were 3 of us who went to an event we're all watching the Masters together, and one was super committed. So she intentionally arrived late because she knew there was going to be food and drink. She had her water bottle with her, and she said no to everything that came by her. And I was doing the same thing, minus the water bottle. No, thank you. Cookies. No, thank you. Mm-mm-mm. And then I didn't last. She lasted. She brought like vegetables and a healthy dip that we all loved and, complimented her on. But she too was just away for a month and really totally went off her regime, exercise, food. So she came back super disciplined. I not so much, even though I didn't have a great vacation experience either, but I'm getting back on track faster. I'm not doing let's wait till Monday to
Right.
start. I'm starting maybe not the next meal, but certainly the next day.
Yes. Yes. And that's a win, right? We all start somewhere. And if we try to jump from here to here, we're just going to fall
Yes.
because everything's unstable, everything's uncertain. Whereas as you're doing these steps, like, no, there's nothing wrong with the way you're doing it.
Yeah. And I really say, like, the education that, especially science based, I saw again, I didn't read into it, but it said something about Doritos dirt, like not for healthy consumption or not for human consumption. And I'm like, oh my, like, I really need to start paying attention to what I'm putting into my body, which I've never done. And the sugar thing is the big thing. So I'm getting better at looking at something and going, do I want that in my stomach? Do I want that?
Keep in mind too the oils, and that comes back to Patsy when we talk about the protein bars too. Whenever you see palm oil in anything or these modified kind of oils, oh, that's why
Yeah.
like making something homemade is the best way, and having them in the freezer that you can take out as needed. We'll talk
Yes.
more about that.
Yeah, the celery has been a really, I never really done that. Carrots, yes, carrots and hummus, not the celery. Doing that fairly consistently. I'll either have grapes for lunch as a snack or the hummus with the carrots, the cucumbers that I added the other day. Didn't like those as much as I liked my celery and my carrots, but it was good. The other thing under what have I changed? So, accountability, feeling more accountable, knowledge level has gone through the roof because again I never paid attention to anything related to food intake really. Thoughts on sugar, the the worksheets, like really now more than ever looking forward to diving into those worksheets. The one that I love here, but it's scary, Clorinda, in terms of the thought errors.
Yes, yes.
I could maybe tick off 3 of the 20 or so that are listed there.
Where do you think I come up with them?
Oh,
I just looked in my own mind and was like, oh,
yeah.
is that true? And is that true? It's kind of fun. Like,
Yeah.
so think of it that way. Think of it as interesting, not scary. Okay.
Yes.
Scary will let
Yes.
your brain shut down and it
Yeah.
might let you peek at them, but it's
Yeah.
going to shut you down. But instead be like curious. Okay, let's see. Let's open this up. What do we got here?
But I would like to have some because I do. I will like to be in a position where I said I believed that. I'm still at the point where I believe so
Right.
many of those things. So
So
I really have some work to do.
a thought I would offer everyone again is I'm working on, not believing
Yes.
that, or I'm
Okay.
working on
Right.
breaking that story that I tell myself, like it's impossible to, or it's just what I do, it's just who I am. That's a
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Story. We
Yeah.
know that too, because when someone says, I could never stop smoking, they get the cancer diagnosis, lung cancer, and they quit immediately. Right. So that's a difference of the story that we tell ourselves. But let's not wait until there's that wake up call to change our
Yes.
story.
Yes. New habits. The urge jar. I have to be honest, there aren't a lot because maybe it took me a while to get used to doing it, but now I'm getting used to doing it. I'm really paying attention to the noise when it goes in and the colorful rocks. But I also find the reason why I'm not doing it is that I have way fewer urges than I did before. Because I find if you give up the sugar, you have fewer cravings.
It makes life.
Uh, yeah. What's next? Oh, yeah. Sleep. Rachel, when you said you don't wake up through the night, but your sleep isn't great. If I could just not wake up through the night, I would be happy with that. I'm terrible sleeper, always have been.
Yeah.
Trying to detox, trying to unplug early. Um, yeah, it's just part of me. It's been like that forever and ever.
Do you like to read, Rose?
I do, but I think I have to get off the Kobo. I'm not sure if the Kobo emits the blue light. I have the blue light glasses, but they could be old and maybe they're not working as well. And I'm really thinking it's the Kobo, and I need to maybe pick up some hardcover books,
And
softcover books.
nothing that's going to excite you. Like I'm meaning reading something kind of boring too.
Right.
Or
Okay.
something that takes you away, but not like a thriller, nothing that's going to get your sympathetic going, just more of a kind of cutesy love story or learning about Italy or something like that type of thing. Nothing
Yeah.
that like excite, stimulate in that way.
It's hard because I love reading, and I guess I will just have to try to find the time to read those kinds of things
Yeah.
another time. But yeah.
Think of it as
Yeah.
a sleeping pill, like 5 minutes, literally
Yeah.
5 minutes of something.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you. Is this valuable for the rest of you to hear other people? Because you're probably like, oh, yeah, me too.
I guess since starting this, my thoughts and habits definitely have changed from way back when, like, being more positive about things for myself. Habits for sure, because I thought I had to eat breakfast in the morning, that kind of thing.
But now you are, right? When you're working out for sure.
When I work out, I do, yes. But when I don't work out, then I don't eat breakfast.
I do want you to try a couple of days of eating breakfast in the morning, whether you
Okay.
work out or not,
Okay.
and then notice what your energy level is in the afternoon because everyone's different. And just
Okay.
notice if you have that slump or not. Then try going and extending your fasting until you're hungry, which is like your 10 o'clock-ish time. And then note your energy in the afternoon, as well as if you have cravings in the evening, and document it just so you have
Okay.
an idea. But do at least 2 to 3 days in a row. At this
Okay.
stage, that would be good for you to experiment with.
2 to 3 days in a row, you said?
Yeah. And make sure if you're recording it, it's like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the next week, a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay.
Whatever you want in between, but just have 3 consistent days,
Okay.
similar routines. Because comparing your stress from a school day to a day when you're off at church on Sunday is quite different.
Yeah. Let's see. My energy level has definitely changed throughout this, plus what I do with my oils and things like that. Like I have a lot more energy. Just
Good.
like this past weekend, we had 3 events on Saturday, and I had to make Henry's cake for his birthday party and do all that for Sunday.
Mhm.
But like, just a couple of years ago, like I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Right.
All of that without my body just dying
Yeah.
and hurting really bad. So I feel like that's a good place to be in where, okay, we've got these events. I need to get them done, do it all, pace myself, but get it done.
How did you do with the birthday party and baking the cakes? Like, are you wanting to lick everything and clean everything out, or has that changed? I'm curious.
No, I didn't, because I bake the same kind every time. So it's like, I know what it tastes like.
Oh, I love
I did have a bite of cake, I think, like the next day, but like I didn't have a whole piece and that kind of thing, and didn't lick the bowl and clean it out and lick the spatulas and all that kind of stuff.
Let's pause for a second because I want everyone to make sure that they got that. Did you guys hear that? I know what it tastes like. What a great line. When someone say, "Oh, but you've got to try this. It's so good." Maybe, but I know what it tastes like. So do I need to try it right now? No, I don't. I'm good right now. But thanks. I do know that's good. That tastes delicious. But I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Love it.
Yeah. And like at the other events, it wasn't anything that I even remotely was interested in eating, didn't need to eat, that kind of thing.
Was it as they were greasy or unhealthy, or what was your thinking around that?
Well, the Easter egg hunt was early in the morning, and I had just had some protein stuff Saturday morning before we went, and then I just wasn't hungry. And
Right.
it was donuts and cupcakes and stuff like that, and just,
Energy suckers,
it's not homemade. It's not worth even trying because it's gross. And, it's not going to be great tasting anyway. And then we went to that King of Kings movie Saturday night with our church.
Yeah.
So the boys had popcorn and I was good there.
In the past, would you have got the popcorn as well? Like
I mean, I've never like just had my own big thing of it because it's all too much anyway. But I probably would have gotten like my own small bag. But they have little combo things for the kids.
Yes.
Yeah, I had like, I think a bite of one of theirs and that was good. I didn't like munch on it the whole time during the movie or anything. And then I'm still working on the feelings and thoughts thing and the stress and that kind of stuff. I feel like I've come a long way in it, but still working on that portion.
Just know we never arrive. Like it's a constant thing. Every day we're working on that. That's just,
Right.
it's like we
So,
brush our teeth every day, multiple times.
so I feel more confident like in the food section portion of it. It's the thoughts and feelings as far as other areas of my life that I'm working in and organizing and things like that. When you said how do you react to things, I would say that I've come a little bit in that direction because if I had so many events or things that I'm doing, and especially if I'm doing a lot for those events, it would stress me out. Like I have so much to do, but I'm kind of calmer and kind of just going with it and it'll be okay. It'll work out.
Yes.
You know, if something doesn't happen, oh well, it's not the end of the world. So those have changed, progress.
And when you're like that, you'd have less resentment too. You know, sometimes when we feel overwhelmed, we're doing so much and it's all about us doing this, and we can get resentful of someone who's sitting on the couch watching sports.
Yes.
Wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah. That. Let's see. Sleep is it's good. Oh, it's okay. I think I can work more on that. I sleep well. It's having a hard time getting up, like feeling rested, even though I'm not really waking up in the night. Right now, I feel like I'm not like when my alarm goes off, I'm like, I'm going to turn it off and sleep a little bit longer.
I've got something for you to do before you go to sleep.
Okay.
Write down, because what the last thing we're thinking before we go to bed is usually the first thing we think about when we wake up. So before you go to bed, say what you're looking forward to the next day.
Okay.
Something you're looking forward to. It could be, I'm looking forward to getting my workout in because I know I'm going to have more oxygen to my brain. I know I'm going to have a boost in my metabolism. I know I always feel better. It's like I've eaten the frog, you know, that book, Eat the Frog. I've done that. I've got it done because I did that. Everything else is going to. So then when you wake up, if you're thinking, I should go work out, that's what you would think, unless the night before you prepped your brain for it to go, oh, I'm excited to get up and get that me time, my alone time, my time to do that.
That's what I have to get back to because not have to, but what I want to get back to because it's kind of been a little rocky with health and things the last few weeks. So I was doing the walking and that's kind of tethered off a little bit with my feet and I'm slowly getting back into that. So I feel excited for the Easter break coming up because I feel like I can get kind of readjusted and do a little bit more in that way. But I've been sitting outside more, soaking feet, just doing that kind of thing. Still doing some self-care, even if it's not my full-blown workouts that I've been doing.
Good. Rachel, think back to when you had messaged me, just refresh my mind of where you were when you started way back. Yeah. And where you are now, just to end this part of your segment to say, this is where I was, this is where I am now, this is where I'm going. This is my next goal.
Okay.
So do you remember what year you said it was that you started?
Let's see. Not the first time. Miss Judy went through it.
Yes.
It must have been 2022 because she said that she went through it. And then I think it was that fall of 2022 when she told me about it.
Okay.
And after that, I joined then.
Okay.
So 2022 to now. I believe at that point, because I was 245 after Henry was born. And I got down to 215. You know, you lose the baby weight, but then you have like the right after weight, birth weight. I got down to 215. And that's when I was like stuck for the longest time. And then she told me about you. And that's when I started at 215 with you.
Okay. And now you're at
182.5, I think.
That's awesome. So you gotta make sure wherever you are in this journey, you got to let us know when you're in the 170s.
Okay.
So we can celebrate with you too. Thank you for sharing.
Hi.
Hey, Patsy, how are you?
Good.
Tell us all the things.
Let me see here. My thoughts and feelings. I'm more confident. I'm not as emotional. I seem happier. I'm more satisfied and easier going.
Mhm. How does that feel?
A lot better.
Doesn't it feel good to
Yes.
not be so like uptight and stressed out about things and
Yes.
have a hard time?
And families noticed it, and makes me feel better.
Good.
My habits, I still do daily weigh-ins, which I do like that.
Yep. Good.
Keeps me on track.
Do you notice that and this is for all of you, is there less drama when you get on the scale now? Like, you know how we talk about facts versus drama? When you get on the scale, you're noticing, and it's like, oh yeah, of course I am. Because I
Yes.
had this yesterday. No big, I kind of thought I would be. Or it might be, oh, interesting. I didn't expect to be up.
And I think more about food, like if I want that in my body, or make better choices, I guess. Still no drinking, which I'm fine with it. Nothing, people come over and
So amazing compared to that message you sent me.
I
I'm so
know.
glad I saved it.
like it doesn't bother me a bit.
Yeah. Amazing. And how are they with that?
Good.
Yeah, right? Because
they still drink if they want to, or
yep.
I mean, we still have our conversations and we still visit, and
I bet you're still fun and you laugh and have
yeah,
good.
it's still good.
I love that. I love that. You're letting them be them and you're just doing you and they're letting you be you. So.
Yeah. My new habits, I'm journaling now, which I really like. I write everything down.
Could be why you're not triggered as much, or why you're a little easier going, because you're taking care of yourself.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
No, I write everything down.
Your knowledge.
So it makes me feel better. Perfect.
Thank you. Lisa, you're next.
Well, first I have to say that everyone's face is looking a little thinner since we first started. I'm noticing the physical difference, which is really cool.
Okay, I know I'm leaving you with a bit of a cliffhanger, but I promise you'll hear from Lisa and Jacqueline next week. I just didn't want it to get too long, so I'm splitting this up into 2 parts. But I hope they've inspired you. I hope there's been a spark come up within you to say, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. It's always such a beautiful, genuine group when we come together. We meet once a week, and most of these ladies have not met each other before. We have representation from New York City, from Louisiana, us in Canada, and we all gather together. We're honest. We love to have a little humor injected, if you haven't noticed. And we just hold space for each other, support each other, and learn from each other. And to show you how far these shifts can take you from where you are starting and where you're going to end, I'm going to share what Patsy messaged me 2 weeks into the program. She said, I'm having a hard time. I've only lost a little over a pound. My biggest problem is when people come over, I want a glass of wine. And I guess that must be where my problem is. So that was great to know. That's when we could go and work on that area together. And you've heard it yourself. She's down 15 pounds. I think she said that. Maybe she didn't. Anyway, I'll tell you. She's down 15 pounds. And we often forget to talk about the pounds because the other areas of feeling calmer and confident and family relations. And when they notice a shift as well, that's a lot of times more rewarding than the number on the scale. Not to lessen the value of that because of cardiovascular health and everything else, the energy and the way you feel in your clothes, those are all still important as well. And by the way, some still choose to have wine or have a dessert or whatever, but we're more intentional about it. And we're eating healthier for the longer periods of time. And then when we have something on the side, we don't let it spiral us. It's like, yep, that's what I chose to have then, and we keep moving on. As we lower stress, our cortisol levels lower, our belly fat starts to go, the scale does come down, and it's just natural that improving our cardiovascular health will follow. So if you want to feel lighter, mentally, physically, emotionally, as we get ready for summer, let's talk. You can book a free consult through the link in the show notes, and the next Feel Light, Mind, and Body course begins May 12th. So the Monday after Mother's Day, and I do have gift certificates, so you can always put a little plug in so that you get what you really desire, which is better health. This is about creating a healthy lifestyle that fits you, not a quick fix. Okay, be sure to catch part 2 next week. You're not going to want to miss it. Thank you for being here today, getting to the end on a longer than usual episode. Until next week, be kind to yourself and remember that the shifts you're making today are creating your tomorrows.